Hello and welcome to Pyramid Energy. My name is Khunzi. I'm going to do a reading today, and I'm going to start off with grace, the way my daughter does it. For what we're about to receive, may the Lord make us truly thankful. I'm actually just going to shuffle on screen today. I usually cut out all the shuffle before, but today I felt like I should do everything in the container. I could already feel some of the energy, not its detail, but rather its auspiciousness, auspicity. Where you're coming from, I've got card number 6, the cicada. This is telling me about healing through expression. The cicada's voice, like almost cricket-like, and it could be happening in the background for a long time before you actually hear it. So it's as if you just woke up to your voice. You just woke up to how soothing it is for others and for yourself. The number 6 as well has a sense of reciprocity to it. And so it's like you're also waking up to that your voice is appreciated. And not just that, the sense that, sorry, I just touched my mic, I don't know if it made a noise, but the sense that as you express yourself and as you get to know your expression, you're also receiving something from that. So you're actually expressing something that gives as much to you as it does to someone else. And so I'm speaking to someone who's been using their voice, but they've just realized its impact, its effects, and its healing quality. And your voice can be, it's your expression. Voice is not just about your actual voice. It's your expression, however you've been expressing yourself in your art. Where you are right now, dandelion, healing, and the number 9. So we have a 6 and a 9. And this is this realization of, the word promises came up this past weekend, and it keeps popping up everywhere. There's this sense that there are promises that you made to yourself in the past. And there were lots of expectations. A dandelion reminds us of wishes that we make. And out of wishes, we sometimes create expectations. And you've had to remove your focus from the intentions that you made and the expectations that you were holding a little bit too tightly. And you're waking up to the realization that wherever your intentions spread to, you put them out into the air. Along the way, you forgot that you even made them. And now the healing effects are landing in your life. I've also got yellow, these cards already, the colors are very much about healing. But this yellow, look at how these numbers are. The 6 is kind of turned around into a 9. And we were talking about healing through your voice in a reciprocal way. And these are the expectations that you had in terms of this, all of this stuff. And now you're actually enjoying its effects. And this reminds me of the idea, look at those 2 birdies in the back. Can you see them? There they are. There's a big hardy-dar, but it's not in your view. And because now you've settled into non-expectation, but actually just receiving your own gift. Through receiving your own gift, your expression is reciprocating naturally and in a more amplified manner, purely because you're not doing it to be heard. You're doing it for your own healing, for your own gift, where you want to be. Desert thirst. And you know, the number 10, you know, so far all of these cards have been within the first 10 numbers. And for me, that's speaking to me really around beginnings. Going back to primary stuff. And I know 10 is not a primary number. I just mean going back to primary stuff, going back to basics. Less complication, simplicity, your building blocks. You've taken your building blocks and I'm straying from the card a bit here, but bear with me. You've taken your building blocks. Some you thought you'd discarded, but you've gone back to fetch them because you're realizing, number one, less is more. Less is more. Sometimes there's this scarcity versus abundance concept that's coming up. Sometimes we collect a whole lot of everything and clutter the whole situation because we think we almost feel like it's gonna help us feel safe. You want your thirst quenched. You feel like you've been walking the desert far too long. You want to see some of this wisdom that you've been applying brought to life. I'm also finding all of these colors so basic. You know, like this is desert thirst is around the color. Just the color of the card is reminding me of, you know, your creativity, the sacral chakra, but it also has a sense of the base, which to me speaks a lot about the expectations that you have or had, that you've been shaking. And I just want to say that if you can stay in the present moment and not give too much attention to how long it's taken. We can't always ignore how long something has taken, but we can turn that around and appreciate where whatever it is that's taken long, where it's brought us, where it's brought you. Because if you look at where you are now, you're not in a position where you can discard any part of your journey because every single step was needed. And it's as if you can get comfortable with this idea that within the desert The skilled know how to find an oasis. You know how to find, I've got goosebumps right now. You know how to find an oasis, and it's through living in the desert. It's through living in the desert and having to survive in the desert that you have this skill. And so really at this point, it doesn't matter what season it is, what the weather is, everything that's happening around, because you're skilled. You've just arrived at this present moment with everything that you have, and you're living in it. You're living in your own healing, and everything, you didn't expect it to turn out this way. This is just not what you expected. What you need to know, card number 35, sequoia tree. I finally looked up how to pronounce this word because this card's been coming up. It reminds me of the Three of Wands. It reminds me of the vision that one creates. And again, it's taking us back to expectation. However, this one is ships coming in with balanced expectation. And when I say balanced expectation, I'm referring to knowing something is coming, not thirsting for it, not the desperation, but the waiting, and also comfort, balance where you are right now. And so like the feeling of a deadline has fallen away. The feeling of needing to be somewhere and you don't know where you're supposed to be, that's fallen away. And so you're balanced and you know what's coming in. And you know what I'm seeing? I'm seeing someone who knows that something is coming in because there's been all this wisdom that's been absorbed about when things come in, the timing, while sitting in this impatience. It's like the mind knows when ships come in. But because you're in this balance, you can recognize that this is what it looks like when things come in. So not so much like a when, but more I feel like I feel how I'm meant to feel when things come in. I've been told many times what this day will feel like. And I feel that way now. Where you're headed. Card number 30, rainbow, beauty. Oh. You know, this rainbow is a huge contrast compared to this desert space. A rainbow, for me, especially with all this greenery, look at that. The number 10 with the number 30. This is actually the point of balance that you've reached, where you can expect, all the symbolism of a rainbow. What I'm getting at is there's a continuous energy that you're generating, a continuous, and so you can actually feel that balance and feel that comfort exactly where you are. For example, if I take you to next week, you don't have high expectations of next week. What you have is knowledge that you'll still have everything you need. I'm speaking to someone who, okay, so you've obviously been through a hell of a lot, but you're a warrior who's no longer dealing with, I feel like PTSD. Like I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, but it's this trauma that would recur and haunt you at night, during the day, and there was this constant need to like deal with it and try. My video paused. I was so worried I lost the video, but it's still here. Trying not to suppress it, trying not to let it suck you in. It's like you were constantly ducking and diving this trauma and the thoughts that it would spark. And you've arrived at this place where this sense of stillness is locked in. Your sense of stillness has been locked into you. And you found it inside, and it's like it's got a cage around it. And only you have your key that you can unlock your cage with. You're essentially very much feeling impenetrable to me right now. And this feels like one of those overnight shifts where it's not something you did necessarily consciously, intentionally. Intentions were set, but not with having this as a result. And so if this reading has resonated, I want you to know that you've created the kind of balance in your life that nobody can steal. Nobody can take it. You can also survive anyway. It's not your circumstances that determine your balance. It's not your circumstances that determine your flow. It's you. I'm going to pull a Moonology card, and actually this deck has been calling me. I haven't used this in months, and it's like one of those, I don't know if I should call it mystical. I don't know if I should call it mystical, or it's one of those decks. It can shock you sometimes. I don't know, something. And then I'm going to pull a Moonology card just to close the reading. I love how these cards feel. They're so light, and look how beautiful they are at the back. Ooh. I felt all of this energy. Divine masculine, electric, active power. This is really bringing clarity to what I've been talking about, because the masculine is a protector. He's the organizer. He is the structure. Again, he, she, already this is appealing to the divine masculine within me. This divine masculine is receiving energy, and his physical body, he's able to amplify it. He's a generator. I don't know who that word just hit. He's a generator. And he's in control. but he's got a balanced kind of control that's healed his feminine as well. And he's a balanced type of control, that a flow. You got the number 8 here. He's in a flow, and he's a, like I'm seeing a martial artist, like someone who's found exactly, he's in his zone, and he knows what works, and he doesn't have to assert himself. This is very sexy. And still, I feel it within myself. Active power. Let's get a Moonology card. I'm using the deck that I usually use during a full moon, because I don't know, new moons are really hectic on me usually, but I found this particular new moon that we just went through on Friday, I found it revealing. Usually with a new moon, that's where we set intentions and all of that. It's as if, like, I don't know, I had that sense of self-care that I apply when it's a full moon. Also, like, just rest, let things be. I was in a full moon type of way. And even as far as dreams and clarity, very full moony. And I found this new moon energy gentle. And I'm appreciating its gentleness, because the last few moon cycles have felt intense. Like a lot of grounding needed, a lot of reminding yourself to be in the present, a lot of that. And this one was like, I feel like it's found us present, this new moon. Hold your vision. It says, hold your vision. And I can see this light here. It started after I set up, and it's been coming back and forth. It's pretty. Hold your vision. This is to say that hold your stance the way you are now, because we've spoken about balance. We've spoken about how you've reached this balance, that you needn't lose it. And they're saying stay in this position. Stay where you are now and hold it close in your heart. Remember it, because look at that, 8 and 8. Stay with it. I don't know why I picked up those 2 cards again. Oh yes. It's in this position. This is the position you must hold. The 3, like steadiness, like when they tell you in sport to keep your feet shoulder width apart, bend your knees a little bit. Hold that stance. Hold this stance. It's the one that makes you the generator. Thank you so much for allowing me to do this reading for you. And I hope that you felt safe in my container. Sending you love.